Hey everyone, we are back for another workout of the day and we are reaching the end of 2024. So we are at the final countdown. It is 4 rounds for time. It is 10 ab rollers, 9 kettlebell high pulls, 8 deadlifts, 7 V-ups, 6 slam balls, 5 dumbbell thrusters, 4 goblet squats, 3 burpee box jumps, 2 stone throws, and 1 wall walk. So you're going to go through all of those movements 4 times. I'm going to show you how to do each movement and the modifications, and then you can get started. All right, so our first movement is going to be our ab rollers. So we want to make sure that we are using our abs to push and pull the roller back and forth. So we're going to be on our knees. We're going to make sure that our butt is not staying up the whole time. We want to bring our whole body out and straight and flat as far as we can, squeezing those abs as you come back and forth. Now, modifications, you can just go halfway, making sure that you are squeezing those abs. It is not an arm exercise, so you want to make sure again that you're bringing your body down and allowing the weight to kind of go forward, so that you're not just moving your arms back and forth. The other thing that you can do is you can do inchworms, so you can come down, walk your way out, reach, come back, squeezing those abs each time. And if your flexibility is a little off, you can bend down and kind of walk your way out that way as well. Are you showing us your inchworm? Yeah? Are you showing your inchworm? Okay, so the next movement is going to be our kettlebell high pulls. So what we want to make sure is that we are keeping a tight core, as always, right? You're gonna need a kettlebell for this. So we want to be our feet are gonna be a little bit wider than hip width apart. We want to make sure we're keeping the kettlebell nice and tight and close to our body. We don't want to be out here trying to pick it up and hurt our shoulders or our back. So we want to be nice and tight. We're going to keep our chest up the whole time. And as we pull up, we want to pull with nice high elbows up. So we're going to use our legs. We're going to squat down, grab it with 2 hands. We're going to be looking up. My chest is up. I'm in the squatting position. I'm using my legs to pull it up and then finish with a high pull with my arms. Just like that. So you can also use a dumbbell. Again, you can change the weight out. That really allows you to do this movement correctly, that fits your level. But make sure that whatever weight you're using, you're challenging yourself enough. I see people sometimes go a little bit later than they can do. Okay, so with a band, you can step through that band, pull that band through, and again, we're gonna come down, pulling that same way. And again, you can use different resistance on the bands. The next movement is going to be our deadlift. So if we have a barbell, awesome. We'll start with that. Things to focus on is keeping a nice straight back. You want to make sure your core is tight. You want to make sure your shoulders are back and your chest is coming up. So we never want our butt to be lower than our knees, so we're not bending down to lift the barbell up. We're hinging at the hips, coming back, and then bending. But we want to make sure that our shins are straight. So how we do that is like, this is how we would come down. We would just want to pull those shins back so that we create this nice straight line that the barbell can come up. We want the barbell to be touching us at all times so that we keep it nice and tight close to our body, so that we're, again, not putting stress on that lower back. That's where people get hurt on these kind of things. So we are going to come and we can do a mixed grip. So one facing your body, one facing outward. That's just creating a nice, stable, let her pass. Okay, nice seeing you. So we are gonna come up, my chest is up, and I'm pulling the barbell up, and as I come up, I'm standing straight up. I'm not leaning back. Again, that's putting pressure on that lower back. So you just want to come nice and straight up, and then come back down. And again, I'm in contact with the barbell the whole time, and I'm keeping my chest up. I'm pulling, I'm allowing, it's like a hook is coming from the ceiling, just pulling me upward. So everything should be in a nice straight movement. So you can also do deadlifts kind of like you just did the high pulls with the kettlebell, but we're not pulling, we're not finishing it with that pull. We can just do the deadlifts. Can also use a dumbbell as well. And we can also use a band. So we're stepping through the band. Now you can either step on from the outside and just pull up, or you can do it in the middle as well, but I suggest doing it from the outside and just standing up. Again, not leaning back. No need for that extra lean back. Okay, next movement, V-ups. Coming, touching those toes, making sure our back is coming fully off the ground. Really squeezing those abs. Modifications to the knees. Alternating. Or leg raises, shoulders off the ground. Lifting our legs. Few, about a foot off the ground. Maybe a little bit more, but no rocking back and forth. Slam balls. So with the slam balls, pick a weight that you can do a nice, good movement with. So things to keep in mind. Same kind of movement as the deadlift, but we're going to come into a full squat and we're going to grab it on both sides of the ball. So I'm coming down in this full squat. I'm keeping, again, close to me. I'm going to use my legs to momentum up. We're going to bring the slam ball all the way up overhead till our arms are straight. And what we are not doing is throwing the ball from the top. This makes you all loose, makes your back not happy, it makes your shoulders out of whack. So what we want to do is we want to bring it all the way up, and we're going to bring the ball down and we're going to slam it about halfway down. And that's going to create a nice little bounce. And I say little bounce because it's only about an inch or two off the ground that it will bounce. And you are going to try to catch it before it falls back on the ground. So this is what it looks like. Coming all the way up. Oop. This is not a good ball. Hold on. It's not the ball I usually use. I don't like the grips on that one. All the way up. So you notice I'm coming down, coming up. So it's a squatting movement. It's a movement with your arms, and it's keeping that core tight as well. So it's important that you use your whole body for that movement so that you do it right and you don't get injured. Now, if you are kind of new and you can't do that fast movement, that's okay. You can do one at a time, but just make sure that you're bringing it back down each time and not slamming it from the top. So you can use a medicine ball, a wall ball. It's just going to be a little bit bouncy, so make sure that you really do bring it all the way down and watch out for that bounce if you're really slamming the ball down. You can also do plate to overheads. If you don't have a wall ball, just come up overhead. Like so. Okay. Again, keep that same form. The next movement is going to be our dumbbell thruster. So we're going to need 1 or 2 dumbbells for this. And you can pick the weight that you feel comfortable with. But we'll start with, well, first off, let's start with your squat movement. So a thruster is a squat into a press. So we want to make sure that our feet are a little bit, they're about hip width apart, slightly pointed out. And as we come down into our squat, we're making sure our chest is up, our core is tight, and we're bringing our knees outward so that we keep our feet flat on the ground as we come down, keeping that weight upright so that when we come up, we can use the momentum of the squat to push the weight overhead. And then you're going to finish with straight arms so that your arm is by your ears as you finish that movement. You don't want to be out or back or forward because then there's no support for that weight. If you come straight up and you're nice and straight, you're having the support of your arm, your shoulder, and your whole body there. So this is what it's going to look like with 2. So we're going to come down into that squat, pushing up overhead. As you come down, come back into that squat so that you can minimize the impact of the weight coming down. You can use 1 as well. And you can just do 5 on each side if you're going to do that. You can also use a band, and she's back with her ball. And again, 5 on each side if you're doing it with the band. If you are just not ready to put some weight overhead or use the resistance band, you can just do regular air squats, keeping that good form. Okay, next one is going to be our burpee box jump. So it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a burpee with a box jump. So you want to make sure that you set yourself up where you're not slamming your face against the box as you come down into a burpee, but you're close enough that you minimize that step forward to be able to jump up on that box. So you're going to come down into the burpee. So we're going to push our legs back, come down, push up, and then jump fully, completely on the box. So, meaning my whole foot is on the box. So we're not landing with our feet hanging off the box. This is important too, because if you're kind of landing in a further back position and you don't step up or you don't move yourself forward and you're doing a further jump, you might not reach the box in a position where your foot is fully in the box. So make sure you're setting yourself up for success as you go for that jump We also don't want to land in a full squat. We want to land in a quarter squat, stand all the way up. You can step down or jump down. Some modifications for the burpee, you can do it on the box. You can also walk it out. You can do with or without the push-up. And you can also do a step up instead of a jump up on the box. So our foot is fully on the box, using that leg to step completely up before stepping on top of the box. You can also just do burpees or just do box jumps. Okay, so the next one is going to be our stone throw. So what we have to keep in mind is that we're not using a stone, we're going to use a slam ball for this. But we want to make sure that we're keeping our form. So no matter what the weight is that you're using, try not to grab it and lean over or really lean back when you're coming up. So because it's not a stone and it's not as heavy, you shouldn't really be leaning back and putting that pressure on the back. So what we want to do is we're going to come up, we're going to squat down to the ball, we're going to try to grab it underneath the ball, we're going to pull it up to our stomach, and then we're going to just throw it over our shoulder like so. So you can use different weights for this that meet your need. You can use a wall ball. Just make sure that whatever you're doing, you're keeping good form. It's only 2 each round, so it should, even if you're tired, you should still be able to keep that good form. The last movement is going to be our wall walk. So you need a wall for this because it's wall walk. Basically, you're going to start on the ground, flat on the ground, against the wall. Here comes Mia. And then you're going to push yourself up into a push-up position, and then you're going to walk yourself up the wall until you can touch your stomach on the wall. Walk yourself back down like so. So modifications, just doing half up the wall. Hold it for a second, come back down. You can also just do a push-up. So just doing a nice good push-up position, coming down. You can also use a box and kind of do a wall walk with that. So, let's do it this way. So you're gonna walk up the box and try to walk yourself back, pushing up into your shoulders, and walk back down. So that is the workout of the day. You're going to do all those movements 4 times. Good luck and Happy New Year.